Yo, what up, everybody? Swahili Nation, Swahili to the world, guys. Welcome back to One Africa Forum. This is another beautiful day, man. And your boy, I'm right here for One Africa Forum. So if you're joining right now, please let me know where you're joining from. Let me know in the comment section. I would love to know where you're joining from. It's another beautiful day, and it's day 21. Man, it's beautiful here where I am. Yes, not all the time things are all right, but it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be alive, and I am grateful that I can come back here and talk to you all. So, guys, if you're joining me right now, please let me know where you're joining from. It's gonna be amazing in the comment section, and then we're gonna jump right away to start talk about different stuff that we have right here. Okay, guys, I love you. It's good to see everybody. OHM, yes, I appreciate you. It's good to see Anne Warimu. You say, can't wait for new premium. So, Nation by Mika Javara. I love you. I love you too, and I appreciate you. It's amazing. Yeah. And I see here Selamawit Sega. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining me today. Hi, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's a beautiful day, guys. It's a really beautiful day. I gotta just set my seat here to be okay. Yeah, guys. So yeah, it's good to see everybody here today who are joining him. We have another guy here, Wakana Media. He's asking for subscribers. Well, guys, help Wakana Media to reach 1,000 subscribers. That's what he's asking for. So help him, because is it him? I don't know if it's him or her, but he's our African brother. So, and if he's trying to pursue something through YouTube, why should we not support him? So please support this guy, Wakana Media. I don't even know what he's doing, but support him, guys. I think it'll be amazing. That's what we do in Africa. Kebda Alem, Selma, bro. Yes, man. Salam. It's good to see you. It's good to see you right here. Guys, let me know where you're watching from. You're joining me right now. This is a beautiful day. And let me know if you guys can hear me right. If you can see me clear. I'm using different camera today. I'm actually just using my my laptop camera. Oh, I see Rita Jebremesel. Hey, welcome back. It's good to see you here as well. Appreciate for everything. Yeah, so guys, if you're joining me right now, please let me know where you're watching from. We have one mission and we have one goal, and that is to bring unity in Africa. All right, and is that to encourage one another about unity, and how important is that? Because everything starts from there. Everything begins with unity. All right, we're gonna be talking about business. We're gonna be talking about education. We're gonna be talking about entrepreneurship. How can you start your own thing that you're doing? How can you start from the ground level to go to somewhere big that you don't have to give up and all those stuff? We're gonna be talking about that. But you know what? It will be nonsense. It will be nonsense and useless if we talk about that and we're not reminding one another about unity and how necessary and important it is. You know what I'm saying? So unity is everything, man, and everything begins from there. Where are you now? Okay, the question where I am now. I am in Tanzania right now, and Africa, Tanzania. All right, that's where I'm streaming live from right now. I am in Africa, Tanzania. Where's all African countries, people? Only I see Ethiopia involved. Where are you, other African? Man, Kebda, Alem, I have the same question. You know what I'm saying? I have the same question, and I think I have an answer to. Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna be unavailable for a moment, but I'll be back. All right, yes, I'm back. So, okay, Kevda Alem, I'm asking myself the same question. Where are other African brothers and sisters? Where are they? Where are other countries? Because I want everybody to be involved, right? Not just Tanzania, not just Ethiopia, not just Somalia, not just Kenya, you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be involved. But and I have just one thing to say. Don't be disappointed if the only people you see here are Ethiopians. Don't be disappointed. For me, this is how I take it. I take it as I believe you guys, you understand what it means to be one. You guys understand what it means. You have that desire of being one because you're tired of everything, of all the bullshits that are going on in the country. in Africa, and you guys, you understand what it means to overcome and to fight. You remember during the time of Adwa War, you guys, you fight together as one, and you kick the asses of Italian people, and they run away from the country. That's why you guys are not colonized. You understand, you know how it means to be one. You know how it means to be one with one another. You guys, you understand that. You guys, you know that. And for knowing that, you guys, you're right here celebrating and wanting to be one with Africa. That means a lot. That is everything. You know what I'm saying? That is everything. And that's, you guys, you understand that. But other people, they don't really understand that. Other people, they don't really know that. Other people, like, they are not interested in that because they don't understand. It's not priority to them. Let me tell you this. The reason why you have a lot of people watching the video is because people, they're interested on the topic you're talking about. So this is One Africa Forum. Some people, they see One Africa Forum and they're not even interested. They're like, One Africa, cut the boat. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to be there. Some people, the only thing that I want to see, they want to see like maybe the mega artist, somebody, or some crazy things going on YouTube. That's what they want to see. That's what they're curious. That's what they're interested in. That's what they want to see. That's the only thing they want to see. Right? So they're not interested in One Africa. But you guys, you are here because you see One Africa Forum and your desire is to see Africa becoming one. Because you understand, you are tired of losing, you're tired of missing, you're tired, and you understand how much unity means to you, to your community, and to everything that you do. You understand that. So because you understand that, that's why you are here. And for me, I appreciate that because, man, I wish I can have more Tanzanians here, more Kenyans here. But some people, they don't think that this is something important. And I think I need to talk a little bit about it. Some people, they don't understand how important it is to have one Africa, how important it is to have a united Africa. Some people, they don't understand that. They're not even interested in that. Right? So they see me as a crazy guy, crazy man coming here all the time, talking about one Africa. Say, man, you're crazy. Talking about Africa, something that you're not even going to be able to achieve. That's what they think. That is unachievable. Because for all years, we've been trying to have one Africa. It hasn't been happening. How come it's going to happen right now? Yes, it's going to happen. I don't care when it's going to happen, but I'm playing my part. I'm playing my role. And you guys who are here right now, you're playing your role as well. You understand that, you know what, we might not have one Africa tomorrow, but as long as I'm alive, I want to play my role to contributing to one Africa. I want to play my role to contributing to a united Africa. That's what you guys are doing, and that's what I'm doing. I'm playing my role. And you guys, 15 people right now that I have on the live chat, you guys are also playing your role to uniting Africa. And I'm telling you guys, you know, it's just like a ship. When you're building a ship, you don't just have a big piece of wood to build your ship, right? You have a small pieces. You put it there. You put it there. So us, collectively, we are those small pieces. We are building. Our ancestors, they started to build a long time ago. And right now we're here. We are building. Professor Lumumba, he's giving all this speech about one Africa because he's in the process of building as well. You know what I'm saying? So we are in a journey, we are on a journey, and we are building one Africa. And that is amazing. Please like and share. I appreciate for that. So please, guys, share. Invite people out there. Tell them that, you know what, we are going to build one Africa. Whether I have one person, I have two people, I have three people, we're going to build, one Africa. Let me read comments. Okay, we have Sally. Whoa. Hello, Rita. Congratulations on being chosen to be a moderator. Ane wa Irimu, he said, like your content. I appreciate that. Sarah, I say hi. Where is African brothers, sisters? I love you all. Yes, I love you too. One Africa, Afro, $1. Africa, wake up. Where are you? Where are you? Stop slavery mentality. Support each other. Yes. So first of all, let me just say this. Thank you guys for stopping here. And we're going to have a communication today. I'll tell you this, guys. Hero Yatewaje. I'll say this, guys. You know that it's a big problem, and people, they do not think about united Africa. Just look at people who are watching right now. Not even right now. Look at all the live streams we are doing. People are not interested in One Africa. And that's the truth. They're not interested. Look at how many subscribers we have here in Swahili Nation and see how many people they log in into One Africa Forum. People are not interested in that. It's the hard truth. And I knew it. I knew this from the very beginning when I started. I knew it. It doesn't surprise me. I knew that people are not interested. Me personally, before, I didn't even know that I was interested in One Africa. When I went to Korea, I moved to Korea. That's when I realized that, you know what, out here, they don't care that I'm Tanzanian. They don't care about my nationality because, first of all, they think Africa is one country. That's what they think. A lot of people, they think Africa is a country. They don't care about your country. They don't care about where you're coming from. They don't care about that. They will always call you African because that is your identity, because that's who you are. That's when my mind began to change. And I became pretty much interested in One Africa. People are not interested in One Africa. They see this live stream, they don't log in, they don't come to watch. Because it's One Africa. It's a cliche. You know, I'll tell you this, until something happened, something bad happened, some bad experience happened to someone, and then know that, oh my goodness, I really want to see One Africa. Then they will try to come here and to log in. Until you see people are fighting there and are crying that, please, guys, we need some African countries to support. We need to come together. They will come and log in and raise their voice. But when everything is okay, nothing wrong is going on, nobody cares about One Africa. Why should I care about One Africa? Man, we are building the legacy. We are building our continent for our future kids. We are building for the future generation, man. That's what we are doing right here. That's what we do. We're building something for the future generation. Kwame Nkrumah, he already said, and they despised him back in the days. And if we're doing it today, you know what? Africa, in 10 years later, it will be in the worst place than it's ever been before. It will be in the worst place. And we cannot afford to do that. We cannot afford to do that. You guys, you understand that? Exactly. I like that analogy, Redeemed. He said, what I'm doing is planting a seed. We are planting a seed right now. And not only me, you guys who are here, we are planting a seed. We are calling for One Africa. And that's what we are asking for, man. Yesterday we were here. I was here with my favorite panel. And we were talking about, pretty much, this is what we are talking about. I'm just going to give you a recap a little bit and then I'll continue, guys. We're talking about this. This is the topic we were talking about yesterday. How do we resolve conflicts without having to go on a war? How can Africa have everlasting peace? That's a good thing to talk about. What kind of Africa do we want to see and how can we develop it? And I feel like I'm going to go through this because yesterday this is what we talked about for a long time. But I want to ask you guys this question. Please respond in the chat. What kind of Africa do we want to see and how can we develop it? Chemsha Bongo. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What kind of Africa do we want to see and how can we develop it? You know, I was applying for something a couple weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. And one of the questions that I was asked, it was, what is your vision for Africa? What is your vision for world? What is your vision for that? I was asked that question. And guess what I said? I said I vision Africa where there's a love, peace, and unity. Very simple. But how can we have everlasting peace in Africa? I mean, everlasting peace, just to elaborate a little bit about that, is having the long last peace. Because sometimes you can have peace like in a 1 month and then next month you have something, you have crisis. have crisis. But how can we have sustainable peace in Africa? How can we have that? So it depends on how you define peace. Peace, it doesn't mean that peace is not absence of crisis. That's not the definition of peace. Peace is not the absence of trouble. Because when we think about peace, we're thinking about not having any problem, just having perfect peace. Man, this is not heaven. And as long as we're not living in heaven, we're here in the world, we're not going to have that perfect peace. You know what I'm saying? So peace is not about not having crisis. It's not about not having trouble. It's not about that. So what is peace? What do you think peace is? Guys, anybody thinking about anything? What do you think peace is? What is peace? I'm generally, guys, asking you. It's not a rhetorical question. I'm asking you. Rahama Jamal, I appreciate for coming. I appreciate. So now answer my question. What is peace? What do you think is peace? Because if peace is not about the absence of trouble or absence of crisis, like let's say we don't have any quarrels, it doesn't necessarily mean peace. Because if we think we have, if that is the definition of peace in our mind, then we're never going to have peace, because we'll always have troubles, we'll always have crisis, right? And that's why we're talking about we don't have to go on a war. We can have crisis, but let's not go on a war. We have crisis, but let's be united, let's be one, so that we may resolve all our issues and all the problems that we are having. We cannot resolve our crisis if we are divided. Division, the matter of fact, division is already a crisis. You cannot resolve your crisis. How can I join your panel? All right, Redeemed, you have something you want to share? I'll share with you the link right here. You can share right now, because I asked a lot of questions, so you might be wanting to share. This is the link. You have to go through that link and you come on the live stream here, and we can have chat, we can have conversation. What is peace? Because if peace is not the absence of trouble, if peace is not the absence of quarrels and whatever, then what is peace? If we think that peace is having like calmness and having this like this feeling, then we're not really going to have peace. All right, I have my sister right here. Hello, sister.
Hi.
Hey, it has been a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Sorry, I was kind of busy. I'm still busy, but I have some time now. So I just want to share with you. Actually, the question I asked was it was me. That is my official thing, Redeemed. Thank you for saying. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I'm Redeemed, so I just posted there. You have a lot. You ask a lots of questions, and I was thinking about what kind of Africa do you want to see, and when you ask that question, it kind of take my mind the African, the AU plan for Africa. In certain years to be a middle class, middle level income people and nations, and everything was their planning. But I kind of have a different vision for Africa, not in the middle class.
Okay.
I don't have a vision for Africa to be the middle class level income for each person. No, I have a plan that I have a vision that if Africa would have a financial freedom that goes through the continents, from East Africa to West Africa, from West Africa to North Africa, from North Africa, South Africa, Central Africa, that their financial system will be free from any bondage that they have now. It is because the African financial system is not free. Every country is linked with out of the continent establishment. I want to see that system to be broken. I want to see that system to go through Africa with Africans. So the financial system, the financial system will go free and will established by itself for the people of Africa. And the other thing that I want to see is a freedom of movement.
Okay.
I don't want to see my brother in Nigeria struggle in South Africa, or my brother in Central Africa, Congo, struggle in Ethiopia. You know how hard it is to pass and to get those visas between the countries. It's so hard. Yeah. It's so heartbroken. So I think that's one of the things that I want to see, that people, whether you say it AU passport or you say it some agreement that they have that makes it easy for people to move from places to places, to work from places to places, to establish those strong networks between people, so they will be able to share. When I grow up, I used to hear, oh, children used to not children, the youth, like high school students and everything, used to be picked up from different schools, and they go to America or they go to Europe just to experience for certain times, and they used to pick back, and the other students will come to Ethiopia or some places. And I want to see that movement. I want to see Tanzanian high school student gets couple of classes in Addis Ababa High School. So they will share, and they will see the unity. They will see the difference. They will see how people care for certain things. So I want to see that free movement for Africa. I want my leaders and every country leaders open their heart and their mind. That's experience, right? And I want to see respect in Africa. That's one thing. You were mentioning it. You will know that when you go out, you're not Tanzanian. Like everybody will say, "Oh, you're African, and you come from Africa," and you will understand that. Okay, I am the one who's just been narrow-minded, thinking only my country. My country is just every person in the continent is my country. Like is my country fellow. All the parts of in the Africa is my country, so I need to care for the whole continent. It's not about for one country. And that's one thing that I want to see. I want to see each one of us to have respect for each other, and instead of picking up some challenges or some weaknesses or some mistakes that we did as an Africans, because everybody did something wrong, right? We are human beings. We make mistakes. Whether in our history or whether right now, we do different things that doesn't make us proud. But beside picking that up and pointing it out and fighting up over it, it's based I want to see that we can respect each other as individuals, as a continent, as a culture, and we can share those ideas together. The other thing I want to see is I want to see the continent Africa to reach other people. Do you remember when I started, I said African Union is planning, they plan to reach in the 2063, right? 63 or 65, I'm not sure. That's their plan. So they want to see a middle class. But I want to see a continent that reach out. To give is more being blessed than to receive.
Exactly.
In my country, when I see the aids start coming, the country economy goes down and down and down. It's not coming up, and because when I see it, the country economy was high, and they were stable. Yeah. But after the aid, it's going down and down. It's been down since, and it didn't come back yet. And I read it in the Bible. I say, oh, those who actually give are the ones who are blessed. Because it is for the person who sow, who receive the seed, not the person who eat. Right? Yeah. So I want Africa to start reaching out for others. I want, as a continent, I want to see a continent that helps out, that have aid program for some other nations.
Yeah.
An aid program for some other continents, aid program for us, because if we don't think out of ourselves, we're not gonna succeed.
Yes.
We have to see it beyond ourselves. Something what we plan is no support. It shouldn't be. Oh, it should. This is for me to bless. This is how I go. This is my life. No, I think as a continent or as a country, when we think of the future, when we see of our vision, we should see it beyond ourselves. If we were not able to stand up and start stretching our hand and give, we will not be able to reach to the level that we wanted to see. Everybody looks Africa down. Why? Because they think they own us or something, because they are throwing some kind of dollars or foods and some crumbs and whatever, and they think they own us. They say, oh, my country, you know, this much money, we support you. So you shouldn't actually stand up and say like this, and they kind of felt proud of in what they did. I'm not saying they are wrong or right, but I am saying, as an African, as children of Africa, and we want to be together, and we want to see the unity, the growth of Africa. I think the African leaders, or even ourselves as Africans, we should see it to reach out somebody. I want to have something. I want to work hard for something that will enable me to help somebody else to reach to the other side. Otherwise, if I'm saying it's enough and I'm just stuck with why myself, I'm not going to grow up. And the same thing as an African, that's how we should see it. It just scaling it up, right? As African, we should think of how can we use our resource, how can we use our people, how can we use our economy, so we will be able to reach to the level of Africans helping others, reaching out for others. That's something that I want to see. Those are the visions that financially interconnected financial system between Africans. I want to see free movement in Africa. I want to see respect in Africa. At the same time, I want to see a vision that passes from self-watching, but going for others. This is for now. Just thank you for listening to me.
Appreciate my sister. That's such a good insight, and and I know if Africa is listening. We have representative right here on the live stream right now, sharing and listening. Oh, somebody just came here on the live and then left. Well, wake up, stand up for your right. Oh yes, Kalim. Come on. Somebody here says, yes, Africa is one. All countries in Africa should allow any social communication to each other freely and with no restriction of movement in between to see what each other have. That's amazing. You know, I was thinking about that because some African countries, they're having really hard time when they're going to away. For example, if you have a Nigerian passport and you go to any country, they're always skeptical about Nigerian image. You know, like they always, my best friend is Nigerian. Such a good guy, such an amazing guy, but he always had a trouble when it comes to, you know, immigration whenever he goes to another country. And that is just such a stereotype, because I was thinking about right now, for example, here in East Africa, we have East African passport, actually. Like East African, that I can go to Kenya, I can go to Uganda, I can go to Rwanda, I can go to Burundi, I can go to, I think is it Somalia? I can go like freely without you know, having visa or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's in Ethiopia too, right? Because I know when I go to Kenya, like I don't need a visa. I just go arrive. It's a visa on arrival because of the agreement.
Yeah, it's East African community. Yeah. So I think, oh, dang, I can even come there. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. Wow. All right. So that means I was thinking about having, if we have, let's say, African Union passport, because it will be African Union passport, and then you'll have your country there. I think it will change even the perspective of how people see it, because it's no longer just one country. It's no longer just this person. But when you show that passport, you know, oh, this guy is actually coming from, you know, the African Union.
Yes.
The people who are actually agreed to work together, agreed to stand together, and they know what they're doing. So even the response or the views towards us, it will somewhat change, because we need to be responsible for one another. So if you go down, we go down together. If
Yes.
you go up, we go up together. And we'll have, there's this pressure. I found out, I think you understand, there's this pressure in you when you're outside. You want to represent your country. You want to represent your continent. Like, you know, being there is like representing the entire continent. It's
Mm-hmm.
on your shoulders. Whatever you do, they'll be like, Africans, this is what they do. This is what they do. So having this, I think it will really change even the ways that actually people, you know, sees us like individually, you know, from this country and that nation. They see one united organization.
Mm.
Ezra, it's good to see you, brother.
Good to see you, brother. Good to see you,
Your
sister.
Excellency.
Your Excellencies.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Are you
Guys,
all good today?
Ezra is live from SA. It's amazing. We have Ezra from SA, South Africa. We have our sister here from US, and we are having me here in Tanzania. It's amazing. Ezra, Your Excellency, come on, it's your, yeah, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I've been listening to some pointers, some points that were raised about Africa in terms of what peace means to Africa, and what my sister said about also financial freedom, you know, which is one of the, I think, something that we still need to develop as a continent, hence worldwide. I mean, I think when it comes to the financial freedom, and it's mostly all black people, whether you're in Africa or even in the Americas, be it Brazil, the Caribbean, even the US, where the UK as well. We might have educated people that are living in those places coming from Africa, or even others that were born in those countries. But in terms of what we call owning the means of production, industries, that's where as Africans we still lacking, and we still need to develop as or increase the capacity of our industries to reach and feed the world, to see in such a way that the world can see that Africa has something to put to the table, instead of Africa being a bread basket, Africa being a place where people dump stuff, food, or even secondhand clothes, all those things. You know, like, where people can respect Africa, that Africa is not a dumping place. Doesn't mean if Africans, in terms of the dollar ratio, they might not have, their currencies might not be the strongest, but doesn't mean that Africa deserves to be getting leftovers or being funded by donors and all those things. There's a good part and there's the bad part as well. What kind of Africa we want to see? We want an Africa that's independent. Each country being able to finance its development, each country being able to let its citizens be active and participate into their building of their countries, instead of other people saying they're coming to build, to bring infrastructure to our countries. We need to be an Africa that's our mind is free to have the confidence to say we can do these things. We can learn, yes, we need to learn a lot, yes, but we want to be part and parcel of this development. We don't want somebody to just come and bring money quickly, build something quickly, and then they leave, and then we still depend on them, and in terms of how we're going to maintain whatever they've built for us, you know. So an Africa that's independent, an Africa that's economically strong, and an Africa where there's an active citizen participation into their economy, an Africa where industries can be built, be it in mining, be it in any services, financial, the fintech, every sphere of the economy of the world economy, we need Africans to be participate, to have some form of a voice, instead of them just being the sidelined ones, or the ones that are just sitting to hear, oh, what's happening in America, you know, an Africa that has its own. There's social networks that can be working for Africans, you know, things that are indigenous to Africans in their own environment that needs to be built, you know, such platforms where we need more platforms for Africans to build for their own environments, you know. It can't always be that we have to adapt everything and try to assimilate into our environment. It has to be a point where we also can develop. So we are developing. It's not that there are no apps from Africa, there are no programs from Africa. They are there, but we need them to come to the forefront of the Africans to know about them. And your platform of One Africa, beyond I see somebody says it's only Ethiopians, but I definitely believe that there's more people from other countries. Others might just be peeping and now and then connecting and whatnot. And maybe as any seed is being planted, maybe currently Ethiopia is in the forefront, and Ethiopia is also in the forefront because the headquarters of African Union is in Ethiopia. It's also prophetic in a way, you know, depending on how you look at it, you know. And again, as Africans, we should not worry about who's here. If there's many Ethiopians in this platform right now, we shouldn't be saying, it's only Ethiopians, I'm not gonna join. No, it should say Africans are connecting, Africans are communicating. It's just maybe there's a certain part of Africa currently that's maybe active in this conversations. So people, if we can, as we are building the One Africa forum, as we are speaking as Africans, we should not worry who's here in numbers. As long as people are here and they are active, they are voicing themselves, their issues, their solutions, their mind, they're applying their mind, you know. So we shouldn't worry about where there's so many of these people. Those are the things that also divide us at times. If we focus there on just maybe specific to say, I know it's only people from this place, whatever. It's Africans at the end of the day that are active, that are here. And Ethiopia is a prophetic place. If there's many Ethiopians, we thank God also. You know, we shouldn't worry about no, this is, you know, let's all gather. If you feel that you see more of this, raise your voice and say, hey, from Burundi, this is what day I'm connecting, I'm in America, I'm connecting, UK, I'm connecting, you know, connect, participate, don't sideline yourself. That's why I believe that in Africa that we want to see is Black people being confident, Africans being confident to be in the forefront of leadership, be in the forefront of development, be in the forefront of innovation. We just don't want to be hearing that, such and such a system was built by an African based in America. Yes, those are good stories as well. But here in the African, there's so much talent. Look at the creativity and entertainment of Black people. It has never stopped them. They've been producing music, movies, regardless of the other movie industries that are maybe popular worldwide that have platforms. People are waking up and doing things. I think last time, Nika, we talked about, we mentioned a little bit about the Nigerian movies, Nollywood, for example. That look at Nollywood, people were laughing at them, others were making fun of them. But did it stop them? They keep on pushing, you know. And look at them, they are number 2, number 3, depending on what you're looking at, the number of movies, or you're looking at revenue, they fall under those 2 brackets, you know. And and
we have Isidingo from South Africa,
you know.
Isidingo, man, it used to be my favorite show back in the days.
Man.
Never ends.
You know. And look at all the platforms that are coming from Africa, and you can see that Africans are very creative. If we can look at Netflix now, why Netflix is in Africa? Why are they looking for African content? Those are the things we should be looking at them as a positive sign to say there is an interest, regardless of there might be negative voices, which means there's a market and there's money to be made in all these things. If Netflix is looking for content from Africa, there's an opportunity, regardless of where it's come from America, yes, but it'll also give us a platform and a voice in those big platforms. You understand? And as we are developing our own productions, as we are building our own channels and whatever, we have to use any stream and any platform that is out there for us to push our voices out there, you know, because other people, the ignorance of people will only be removed once they see that, oh, Africans are doing this. Wow, they've got a great movies there. Wow, they've got this stories to tell. Wow, they've got this music, you know. So it's so much. Even when you talk about business, I think Prof. Ezra will be coming to talk about business in Africa and things that we need to share in terms of what's happening in Ethiopia. There's the tech space also in Ethiopia that might not be making a lot of noise in Africa, but there is that tech space. There is one in Nigeria. There's one in Ghana. There's one in South Africa. There's guys who are doing a lot of innovative things that sometimes we need to be sharing such stories, and we need to know that Africans are busy. If we're thinking, back home, things are bad, the roads, regardless of the roads, regardless of whatever, there are people who are doing great things in each nation, regardless of whatever economic condition they find themselves or the environment that one person knows about that country. There's great things that are happening. You know, there's music, there's tech, there's apps that are being built, but probably it might be young people that needs platforms like this to know, to show other Africans, to say, hey, there's things, and also even some of the innovation apps and all that. We need to have venture capitalists that are coming from Africans, fellow Africans, who can fund those projects to boom up. We cannot always be waiting for international venture capitalists or companies that are coming from the States to fund our projects, or Europe, or wherever, you know. Some of the things we need to say, here's the growth market for Africa. Innovation is one of the things that can really help us and make our lives easy. And we've seen that. I mean, if you look at countries like Kenya, Yompesas, how they've exported that technology to the whole continent. And some of those apps, they are even done in other countries, but they just change the name and put it in their own foreign system, or name it in their own way. You understand? There's so many innovations that come from Africa that we need to embrace and fund as well. If we've got money, there's guys that are doing some apps. Hop into that, you know. Those are the things that we need as well to fund. How many people who are creative in every country? You go to every country in this continent. There's very creative people where sometimes when you look and you're like, damn, this thing, if it was in America, this person was probably going to be a multi-millionaire. If the country knew what this person possesses, you know. So it's about that, you know. What kind of Africa do we want to see? How do we develop it? We need to also fund things for ourselves. We cannot always wait for the funding that will come from other countries. Hence, I've mentioned great examples. African Magic, or the Nigerian movie Nollywood, in fact, is another example for us to see that, hey, we are doing this thing. For example, they are pushing no high budgets. They're not saying, oh, we're waiting for funding to build this big project. No, I've got these ideas, but hey, they need money. You know, it's not always all about money. Sometimes it's about what can you do? Okay, you've got this idea, you've got this story, but you know, you've got you've got money that you feel that if I can get $1 million, I can make this dream come true. But sometimes just look at what you have. Start from the resources you have, you know, because you can always modify the story. You know, a story can be told many times. Look at the story of Mandela. How many times has been told by different people, different actors? The same story, just repeated. Americans funded this one. There's another production after 5-10 years. They do another Mandela movie, you know, and they win Oscars or whatever. But the story, even if you start somewhere, you say this story needed a budget of $1 million, but I've got 2, 3, 5 cameras. Or I've got guys that in my country that I know they've got equipment. Let me go speak to them. Yes, they might not believe in your dreams. Yes, some of them you'll miss opportunities. Some people you'll pitch something, they'll miss the opportunity. Fine, you still knock to the other door, or whatever resource you get, you start doing this thing, or you do a portfolio. You don't really have to do the full story. You can make a portfolio of, let's say, a production. Let's say you want to do a story. You can do a portfolio of just maybe a 20-minute storyline, and then go pitch it to different broadcasters and different production houses. You say, this is my storyline. You show them the storyline and a play of whatever that you've done, and you pitch that story, even if it just takes 5 minutes. Sometimes you don't really need to do the whole 20 minutes. for a series, for example. You tell them, this is my storyline, bring a portfolio, you create it nicely, you pitch it. And sometimes some ideas will not be born in your country. We need to be as Africans, we need to think out of our own boxes, our own country, to say so and so is the gatekeeper in the movie industries, those are the gatekeepers for this and this. If it doesn't work, you look at other places. Maybe Nigeria. Maybe I need to get a contact in Nigeria to see I can maybe work with somebody. And some of the things we don't really need to be. Last time I said we don't really need the big boys to help us. Right now we've got platforms. There's YouTube. There's so many places. Look at how many Africans were doing skits in the online. There's so many. There's so many, and they're doing well. You understand? Some of them, yes, it might not be big budget. It might not be a big money coming in every time, but it's not stopping their creativity level to continue. Because if we stop and say we are waiting for money, the creativity will also stop. You understand? So we need to just keep on pushing, and as I said, we've got platforms now. The world is our oyster. It's just a matter of where do you want to pitch this thing. If you feel that I don't want to just be in the online space, I need to pitch this to other big broadcasters who can fund this, or who can allow me to get a slot on their channel or whatever. Do it, go and just knock. Some of the ideas of many people is they'll post something, they'll pitch, knock on every door. A year later, somebody gets a call to say, hey man, we saw this thing, it was put on the shelf for now because last year, because of 1, 2, 3, are you still interested in us working with you? We would love to work with you. You understand? So as Africans, one of my prayers is to have the courage to knock at every door, develop ourselves. As we develop ourselves, yes, let's not worry about money as the only thing. We cannot be crippled by saying we don't have the money. I've got the idea, but I don't have the money. Let's use every platform. If it means we have to go knock in South Korea, let's go knock in South Korea. If it means we have to go knock in the States, let's go knock. Whether the doors are open or not, but it doesn't have to stop us not to do anything.
I appreciate, brother. Your Excellence. I think, man, you say a lot. There's nothing to add there, but I want to ask you one more question. In this kind of, because what you're saying, His Excellency was answering this question right here. What kind of Africa do you want to see, and how can we develop it? He gave everything. He gave point and gave how can we do that, and like in all levels, talking about movies and everything. So that is very, very clear. If you guys have any other suggestion, don't hesitate to come live on the live stream and share your opinion. But I want to ask you this. How do you define peace?
Peace?
Yes. No, please.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think...
I don't think. How do you define peace?
Peace, I think we can't define it in one. It's not something that we can just... put it in one sphere of what is peace. There's I think, but peace first, it starts with us. Peace it starts with us knowing who we are. Peace is knowing what we wish to. Knowing who we are as people. Peace as well. That's why I say you can't put it. There's also spiritual peace. Your heart. Are you free? You might have somebody who might have dreams, might have all the confidence, but they've got fears. It's hindering them from progressing and taking that step. So there's spiritual peace. Others find peace in God. Others find peace in maybe music. Others will worship. Others will dance. Yeah. So there's also the spiritual peace, and then there's also the physical, the inner and the outer peace. The outer peace, we'll be talking about your environment where you stay. Is your environment safe?
There's follow-up question. So there are people who believe in like I was giving my definition of peace. And I didn't really give the definition of peace, but I just say peace is not about the absence of troubles or the absence of, trials or crisis that we are having. We can have all that. We are not, when we are talking about how can Africa have everlasting peace, we're not talking about not having crisis, not having, because that is part of life. We cannot stop that from happening, but we can stop ourselves how we respond towards these circumstances that are happening. Like people, they say you cannot really stop how people treat you, but you can control yourself how you react towards that. So, for example, yesterday we were talking about war, that we can have crisis, we can have all these things that are going on, but we can control ourselves not to go on a war, because war is not a solution. We want to have peace with one another. So coming back to the question that you have here, how can Africa have everlasting peace? The peace that I'm thinking about, of course, I'm thinking about spiritual peace, because I know God is peace, right? That's how I think about it, and that's what I believe. But I really want to ask to, since you're defining peace, and you came up with this question. When you're talking about how can Africa have everlasting peace, what do you mean by that? Practically.
Practically, it's
Yes.
it's when Africa can find ways to solve its problems. It's beyond wars. It's beyond the infighting or whatnot. It's about finding ways to solve each other's problems as a continent. We've got other problems. We need water, proper sanitation. How can Africa come up with solutions, systems that will make Africa work? Currently, those are the things that we should also be looking at going forward. When we have foresight of what we want to build as Africa. When Africa can have a way to solve its problems, when Africa can have a way to have a dialogue among themselves, if people can have a dialogue to speak, to communicate with each other, when Africa can have a way to respect our differences, when Africa can embrace its differences, that we are not all the same, we all think differently, and going back to what you said about how you react to it, when Africa can have can get to a point where no one enforces their beliefs, when Africa gets to a point where they know that this is how we can do this. If I want to resolve my matters, these are the things and ways that we as a nation, we need to try to use. And when we can have those tools in place, we build systems and tools for us that we can all apply, that will help us as a diverse in terms of culture, language, tribe, clan, whatever, because those are the things that in most cases make Africa to feel like it's not a peaceful place because of our differences. But our differences should not divide us. It should make us united to say we can't all be the same. We can't all. It's like if we look at it in such a way, like I cannot think the way Mika thinks. I cannot solve the way Mika solves these issues. I might find that Mika might solve certain things much easier. Maybe in terms of numbers, I can maybe solve numbers much quicker than Mika. Mika might just have an ideology, can solve maybe what can I use? Let's say technological stuff. Maybe Mika is very good, very sharp. Those are the differences that we need to say, okay, your strength, my strength, let's organize. What can we do? How can we use our strengths to our advantage as Africa? Looking at our differences, how can we use each other's strengths?
That's beautiful.
I can leave it to my sister. I think my sister can add something.
Definitely. That's beautiful. You're excellent.
You actually put it very well in the very well method, like it's accepting the differences. We should know we are different. As a human being, each person is different. So that's one thing that we really need to see and focus. Like we are different. My way of thinking, my way of doing things, my way of explaining things is different than yours. That's one of the things that we really need to see. So as a person, when we understand we are different, and as a community we are different. The way your household is run, the way your parents raise you up, and the way the other person grow up is different. So we want to see as a family we are different, as a village we are different, then as a country we are different. So respecting that difference is a very important thing. That's the thing that really lay the ground for a peace. Of course, we might not say I don't know the term everlasting peace in Africa, but I can say a peace in Africa, like if a continent understand the value that it have and the differences that it have, it will be able to be more respecting and more forgiving for each other, that we know that person is doing this side because that is a way that live, that's their culture, that is how they operate things, and we'll say, okay, this is the way I live, that's my culture, this is my culture, and this is how I operate things. So I will come to say, okay, I can respect that, and let's come together and how we can work. And certain things will not gonna come together. It's not going to be the same. I know there will be people who say, no, there is no such thing, one Africa. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work. I respect that. I want Africans to be one as long as if it is possible, and I know it is possible. If we work hard, we give our heart to it. It is possible. It is achievable vision to have, and it's been there since. And before it is as a continent, it is a continent. It was one Africa. There is no such thing different. Maybe there might be a little groups, but it's not like 50-something countries under one place. It wasn't. So I think it is achievable to be one African, to have one passport, to have one money, to work around in Africa, in places, any place. So I can just get up and go to Tanzania and build a business there. I believe it is possible. I believe we should work there together. So this is one of the foundations that I see, accepting differences. The second thing I want to see is learning from yesterday. I want to give you an example of me, why the war in Ethiopia hurts me so much. I'm been praying on it. I've been crying before God, and I'm gonna keep praying because I cannot accept this. I cannot approve this, and I cannot give it a reason in my country, another bloodshed. Because I was very little when the Derg regime that revolt the emperor, or the revolt the king, and come that was a military leader, right? I was very young. I was very young, a very kid, and I remember it like a dream. What happened when the TPLF leaders get into the cities and everything, or those fires, those shots and everything, people running around. I was very young, but it's kind of traumatizing. It goes in my head. It didn't come out, and still I'm been 30-something years. I know what happened, and it was painful. Through those early stages, I saw young people being killed. I saw lots of things, and it is painful. Then we passed that. The country gets peace, and things is getting this way. And what happened? Ethiopia-Eritrea war came up. The Ethiopia and Eritrea were the same country, and they divided. After that, they had a war. My friends that I go to high school with, they died because of it. People lost their children for nothing. I call it nothing because look what happened in 2018. The prime minister just went to Eritrea and they just make peace. Now Eritrea and Ethiopia are the best friend ever. Are we going to go back and get those children life? No. Are we going to give that mom her son back? No. Are we going to give the lost arm, hand that those warriors lost in their on that war? No. Did somebody get something out of it? No. It was a waste of money, human life, energy, it lost everything. Like as a country, whether it is Ethiopia, Eritrea, they just lost everything. The land didn't move anywhere because they call it whether Ethiopia, whether Eritrea. Now they are friends, right? They can go everywhere and their best friend. What does that mean? What does that mean? And now they come back and get the third war in my life. Imagine 3 wars. And it is bloody. It's not simple clashes. People die. Lots of young children who can make lots of creative things. Creative minds are being lost. Energies are being lost. The money that they spend on the war can build different things. And I sit here and look what happened through my life. I'm not talking about history that I read. I'm not talking about something that somebody is telling me. Something that happened through my life. And it doesn't make sense to make this war for the third time. It's not right. I think the political leaders, I'm just giving it as an example, because you can go to whether Congo or any other places and see the war and the fight and every struggle that they do. It doesn't make sense. It's not for the benefit of the people. And at the end, there is no one is winning. It seems somebody win, but no, the people are losing. Africa is falling under another depression. That's what's happening. So I think we should stand and say, okay, what was the benefit of this time war? What happened? Did we really win of this war or did we lose? We should go back and see those things, through the history, through our time, what happened, what did the people actually benefited, what did the leaders actually benefited, and you will see nothing. Especially the people, they get nothing. They're just gonna lose their children. They're just gonna lose their money, all their how do I put it? Most of the time, you can say like they are losing who they are. Most of the time, because there is a displacement that happened, and it's very hard to come back. Everything that they build right there is gone because of the war. Their vision, it's very hard to vision when you are in the war. It's very hard to vision that you have warred 3 times in your life and to say, oh, I'm going to build this. How am I going to trust the next time, even the next 10 years, there will be another war, so they're going to destroy my building. I'm not going to build it. Or they're going to destroy my infrastructure that I make for my community. They're going to destroy it. Why I do that? Why I make a bridge? Do you get what I'm trying to say? So we need to learn from yesterday. And it's enough to be emotional. It's enough. It's enough. That's the African leaders should stop being emotional and see what in front of them only. Look back and see future. And say, no, we can find a common ground right here. Yes, we don't agree with certain things, but if we have to negotiate to give something, to receive something, it's better to negotiate and solve the problem without killing African youngs, without killing African children, because there are children that under war. I'm not saying on which side, both sides, there are young people, very young people. They might say, oh, there is certain age. It doesn't matter. Those age supposed to be for them to build something for their future, not to go there and die. It's not. These are children. It's the same thing. It doesn't make sense. Both sides should come together and negotiate, deal something. Yes, it may look painful, but for future outcome, it's better. You don't look back and feel defeated on the result. So that's the second thing I want us, when we think of peace, I want us to see, accepting the differences and learning from yesterday. That's going to bring us to see the future. We'll see it and no, yes, we are different, and yesterday our difference makes us go to the war, makes us to the fight. But let's bring another deal, because the history is telling us like we just lost. Both of us were losers and poor and beggars. And no, we don't want to do that. We're not going to spend money for the war missions. We're going to use the money for building infrastructures, building schools, or creating some innovative things. I think those are the things that we should do. Thank you.
Very true. What you're saying about it, it's very important to acknowledge our past, and as you said, that there's no winners in any war. It might look like somebody has an upper hand, but at the end of the day, so many lives, so many investments gets lost in any war, and we can't afford to go into such. That's why yesterday when we talked about it, that war should be the last resort, or it should not be on the table in any confrontation, or in any situation where we need to resolve our matters. There should be many things that can be put on the table in such a way that Africans can what's the word, like Africans can sit down and try to resolve their matters without having to threaten each other to say, I've got this guns, I'm coming for you. Instead of trying to rebuild, bring all the parties on the table, all the interested parties into every matter. It should resolve most of our issues, you know. And you said, I mean, look at, you made an example as well about Eritrea and Ethiopia, that they've made peace. I mean, after all these years of tensions and hostility, but it took leadership to say, we need to end this animosity amongst ourselves. We need to make peace as fellow neighbors, because it doesn't make sense that we are fighting. You're my neighbor, but we still have hostility to say, you did this in 19 whatever, I won that land in 19, that used to be my land in so and so. And but the matter is now we've got two separate countries that need to resolve their matters and have a good neighborly relation between themselves, and again and try to resolve also its own internal matters that matter for each and every person, you know. And looking at the bigger picture, that it's somebody's kid who will be going there, whether it's a soldier, whether it's somebody on the other side, it's somebody's children who are being funded to carry guns to fight. But the so-called interested parties are sitting in their own, others might even be overseas for all we know. Their children might be studying in foreign countries, getting educated, but then the kids of the people that are in the country are the ones that even suffer the most, because the little resources that they already have is now being damaged, you know. Their education, you can imagine, besides investment, now let's look at the education in an area where there's war, which means there's no schools, there's no hospitals, there's no, I mean, all the things that build a nation in that region. If there is war, that means there isn't anything really properly working in that place. So if we can put our egos aside, we can put our differences in terms of how we need to resolve this, you know. And yesterday, one of the matter that we spoke about was why like most governments in Africa, it will seem as if they want to take the military action without using the dialogue first, you know, to reach out to the other party. You say, we need to talk. It can't go on like this. We really need to sit down on the table. And if it needs mediation between somebody neutral to come and make us talk, so be it. Let's go and ask for help. The AU should be coming into a forefront to say, there's an issue in Ethiopia. There's an issue in Swaziland. There's an issue in Mozambique. There's an issue in Nigeria. There's an issue in Guinea. There's so many issues. There's an issue in Sudan. So all those matters, they need to be one of the things that does make all Africans not to sleep, because we should be worried that my neighbor is not sleeping well, which means there's more refugees that will be coming to your country. We cannot say it's not my problem, let those people solve their matters, because we still have those people that need to join, and they also need to enjoy the prosperity of peace, uh, uh, and also develop themselves. Imagine if Africa is firing in all cylinders. Every nation is saying we need to upgrade our education. Every nation is busy doing that. Our issues is now to build education. Our issues is to have electricity in every country, not just few countries or not just cities, but as a human right, every country needs to have water. Those are our main things that should be making us not sleep to develop Africa and making Africa a strong continent for each and everyone to live in. For everyone to also know that Africa, there's more to Africa than just poverty. There's more to Africa than just wars. Uh, um, um, in this case, so those are the issues that we need to be addressing as Africa. Whether somebody believes in one Africa or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is all Africans need to live in a place where they can build themselves, they can develop themselves, they can grow, they can be part of a society that is progressive, and a society that's growing and moving forward, and war will just take us back. I don't see any war helping us in any of these matters, So I'm not sure if this is Banjul. Hello?
Yes, how can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Is it Banjul Essence?
Yes, yes, yes. How are you? How you
Your
doing?
honorable minister from the ECOWAS. How are you, honorable minister?
I'm fine. No, what the sister was saying right now, this is exactly what I just hope and pray that her voice and many more like her would be amplified at the international level, because to really have change into society, when you have conflict going on in country, if everyone is on the extreme side, you have one group this there with these politicians, you have the other group with these politicians, you're just gonna have these perpetual killings. But if you have level-headed people like the sister, what she's, and many like her, who would, just, stand up and say, you know what, this is enough. At the end of the day, peace is gonna come, but it's gonna come at a cost. Instead of killing one more child, let's just stop, and reflect and see how best we can reconcile our differences. Because, the government forces are not going anywhere. They're there to stay. The rebels also, or the opposition, they're not going anywhere. You literally cannot kill 1 million people. They tried that in Rwanda, and it didn't work. The same two groups, Hutus and Tutsi, that were killing each other in Rwanda, they're still there, despite the killings, the mass killings. But those people still have to live with each other after all those killings. Paul Kagame, that's why I respect him. He could have came and say, you know what, they kill my people, I want to avenge, I want to revenge. But he's leading people who killed his people. He's from the well, he has to make sure, and God amplified him and blessed him to develop his country, because he did something that was very difficult to do. Knowing that these people killed a lot of his people, he still came and had the upper hand to do more damage to his enemies, but he embraced them.
Mm.
He embraced them, and Rwanda became, the envy of many African countries today. So
Exactly.
I think all these things is lessons for us to learn. The idea of peace also, for me, I think it ties into what the sister was saying. With Ethiopia. I think we should always also reverse these questions and look at the root causes of conflict on our continent. For us in Africa, the biggest trial or challenge that we have in Africa is tribal issues. How does one country deal with 80 different tribes, or 80 or 60 different tribes in one single country? One single country, you have to deal with all these groups. Each tribe has like their own language, their own culture, their own history, and you have to really micromanage each one of them. This is not an easy task. That's
Mm.
why I said, for us in Africa, we have bigger challenges, because other countries like the Arabian, world, or the Europeans, you might have different groups, but they all are unified under one language. Like even the Arabs, they have tribes amongst themselves, but they speak the same Arabic language, and they have the same culture, but they have tribes in within those. But in Africa, every single tribe has its own language, has its own country. So what language do you prioritize to make it the national language without alienating the smaller tribe? These are challenges we have to ask ourselves. What kind of governance system would be, in line with African culture, without, just, you know, jumping on, a Western idea, a Western conception, and say this way of democracy is what we have to implement. I think we have to start thinking about all these things, because our realities on the ground are very unique. Dealing with all these ethnic groups. One country, I believe Ethiopia have over 80 different groups. Can you imagine 80 different tribes? My country, we have small country, 2 million people. We have, over 13 different tribes. Each tribe's is name, its history, its culture, and they all want to be shown their respect, and which is they deserve. But our leaders have to come up with ideas that are uniquely African, especially our governing system, to be able to incorporate all these different tribes and look outside of the box. This is where, for me,
Banjul?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry,
We lost you there first.
My phone was ringing. When you have, for me, this is where the Pan-Africanism comes in, because when you have a bigger space to work with, now you're not going to be thinking small. If you have access to, to do whatever you have to do within your tribe, but at the same time you live in a bigger continent where you have access to all these opportunities. You're going to look beyond that, because this is the only, we just have to think about ideas, to pacify these tribal issues that we have. I believe that this is the biggest issues we have.
I think we lost Banjul Essence. It's from Gambia. Okay, I guess he'll be maybe rejoining. I think there was a call that came through for him. And yes, guys, feel free to join us. Feel free to join. Feel free to join the online space. Comment on the side and join, guys. We need as many voices in Africa. It doesn't lie in few things. Let's not outsource to just few people in Africa. Everybody must have a voice. Everybody must talk. Everybody must share how they view things and solutions, what they think will work, suggestion. We're not saying it's what we're saying is all the solutions. I'm sure there's many smart people out there who have maybe even researches, theses that they've written on conflict management. If you feel that the stuff that you've written, research, thesis that you've written, or somebody, feel free to send to Mika. And we'll gladly want to have such people on the panel. And even if you don't have anyone, you have pointers that you think that issues that you think or solutions that you think Africa should be embracing, feel free, join the stream link. It's on the chat. You can just check there, and let's talk as Africans, and let's get to know each other as Africans. I think that talking is about also knowing each other as Africans, because it'll also open up more it'll help us to even remove the myths about even tribes, because people will always have perceptions about other tribes or even other countries because of a certain event or a certain people saying this. Such things, when we start seeing that, oh, there's people who don't think in this way, there's people who think in this way, they've got solutions, they've got issues, then you can really know that it's not always about, oh, my tribe is better than this. No, that man from this tribe said this. No, we don't want those people. They did this in 1800 or 1900. They killed our people. But what I wanna our sister said earlier, she said something about also learning from our past, Mika. I don't know if you maybe you had that point when she said also learning from our past, and even Banjul Essence mentioned something along the lines of learning from our past, making an example of Rwanda, saying Rwanda after all that genocide, they came together to say, you know what, we're not going back there. We're not gonna revenge. We're not gonna use the other tribe could have said, now we're still going to war. You killed more people, we still want to go for war. But they said, no, let's build our country. Let's look at Rwanda today. It's a marvel to see that a country can things like this, Mika, countries like Rwanda, it's a great example where people can have common visions. We need to make our country clean. It's a common thing. We all live, we need to live in a clean and good hygienic place. That's just a human basic that everyone should be aspiring to, you know, something like that, where we say, Lita, we're going to cancel plastic for the nation. Let's clean our country maybe once a month. I don't know how they do it, but I once read, like, I think it's even the president does it, leading by example as a leader. You know, to say we have to clean, and people, that instills a culture. Even the nations in Europe, you know, Europe was infested with disease at some point. Part of the reason sometimes they don't know why Europe now it's a bit cleaner than before. They were infested with some disease in the, I think, 1600 or 1700 there, because of also not clean cities. They had really dirty cities back in the days, you know, because they didn't have sewage systems, they didn't have sanitation, proper sanitation systems. So every challenge, as you said, Mika, as Africa, every challenge possesses a solution and a thing that we can always come up with ways to resolve our matters. For example, when Europe saw that they have a sanitation problem, they came up with systems we have to have dumping side, we have to have a collection system. All those things help them to what? To become more cleaner, and that thing instilled a culture in them to know that this is our system that we are using. Look at the system is now over 100 years or almost 200 years that they're using, you know. So as Africans as well, we need to create systems that will solve our own problems, that will solve issues that we are confronted with, you know. For example, Rwanda, they saw that plastic is really because of untidiness in the country. They remove plastic. Other nations, like my country, they know about plastic. Yes, there's industries that are being supported. What they did was, you pay now for plastic. They thought maybe putting a fee to a plastic will mean people will stop, but it didn't stop. Yes, there's other cities that are cleaner, other cities are struggling, certain places are still struggling, but the ways that you can try to curb problems. If you see this is not working, try to modify and see, if test and see, you know, just like with software. Before any software can go into any implementation or rollout commercially, there's software testing. It goes through a lot of stringent testing before it can be rolled out or implemented and become a product that users can use, for example. Those are the things that we need to be looking at, solutions for each countries, you know, things that are common for everyone. We all need water. Mika, water does not choose which tribe you're from. Water. I need water, you know, things like that. We need to have electricity. Electricity doesn't choose a tribe. We all need it. We need to be connected to the internet. We need to communicate, do business, you know, the things that can make common interest. I think if we can find each other, the common interest of our people can also help to a certain degree in terms of the tribal issues, where people might raise their tribal issues to say, hey, we are the bigger tribe, we deserve more or whatever, you know. But when it comes to water, we all need water. When you bath, we all bath, you know, everyone needs to bath, everyone needs to drink that water, everyone needs to cook. Things like that can bring us together. Like with Rwanda, they look at the things that can make them stand out in Africa. They don't have the biggest economy, but they've got a vision to see themselves sort of as Singapore of Africa. That's their vision. Like if you look at other nations, do they have aspiration of, as a nation, this is where we see ourselves? Do other nations have that? You find they don't have such. So they can learn from, and we need to be honest and humble ourselves and say, why Rwanda is doing it better. They don't have the biggest economy. Yes, we know that. They don't have the biggest companies in the continent.
The biggest population, no,
you know, we can learn. And regardless of your economy, how big, whatever, how developed, You can go and say, that country is doing something right. What is it that they're doing right that I can go learn? You know, it's an open thing. We don't need to even go to Europe to say we want to learn sanitation. Let's go and just ask your neighbor. It can be free of charge. Send a delegate there to go and say, how are you guys doing it here in Rwanda? How did you channel your population mindset-wise to believe in that idea? How did it start? That's where you do your research as well. Sometimes you go, these governments, they have easy access to communicate to each other. That you can just learn how they're running their sanitation system. You don't have to go and learn everything. You might have other things that are way better than Rwanda, yes, but go and learn something from them. How are they doing it? How do they do their reconciliation? You understand? How do they reconcile a country after so much bloodshed? You know? So, but yeah, just something that we need to delve further. And guys, please join, please, if there's possible.
Somebody just threw a question. I was away, but I was still listening.
Yes.
So I was actually catching up with everything that were going on. That's why I was making some changes sometimes. But somebody asked this, say Ezra, but we Ethiopians have no problem because of water.
And we know this issue. It doesn't even involve just Ethiopians only. It also involves Egypt. It also involves Sudan, because especially Egypt, because it's their lifeline. The Nile is what keeps Egypt alive agriculturally. Even just in terms of day to day, Nile is their. It's just what keeps what do you call this? Egypt alive. Imagine if all those countries can just say, we stopping all the water, it will not flow again, which means Egypt will have to find other means, either go for desalination plants or whatever. But it's not easy because there's a lot of people who live in the Nile. You cannot just it will be also an expensive thing for them. But I still believe that Egypt, Sudan, and all the nations that are involved who have some sort of contribution to the Nile. Tanzania is also involved. Kenya is also involved. But we can say, no, the Blue Nile is more on the Ethiopian side. It brings more water than the other nations. But everyone can just come and say, let's sit as African brothers. It's 11 countries that share this Nile, what we call Nile. Whether it starts in your country is another debate or what. So let's sit and talk about this. Egypt is our brother there. Egypt has fears. I mean, what we talked about the other day about the fears of Africans. Sometimes the part of why we don't want to integrate is because people fear their own interests might be tampered with, their own comfort might be compromised. So for Egypt to be to speak to Ethiopia, to say, Ethiopia, yes, you need electricity. Ethiopia doesn't have electricity penetration in Ethiopia is very low, but in Egypt is very high. As well, Ethiopia has the right to say, we need to electrify our country, we need to develop, we want to build industries, our people need to have electricity in their homes. It's an aspiration. We also need this water as much as you also need it. How do we do this? Can we sit down? As much as, yes, there's things about people having agreements prior to independence and whatnot, but now let's sit and say those agreements, yes, there's agreements that people say they have all the legal right to the Nile, but that was signed before Africa, most countries became states. Let's come and sit down now as Africans. We also need this, you also need the water. Let's sit down and say how we can share the water. How much water do you need on the other side? Yes, we need to fill this dam, we need to fill this Grand Renaissance dam in Ethiopia. But Egypt also wants the water for their agriculture and for them to drink in their country. Let's sit down. How much can we also deliver? How much should we not store then? You understand? As much as, yes, everyone has an interest. Everyone has they need the water. No, the water is for everyone. Even South Sudan, because the water also flows in their country before going to Egypt.
Yeah.
How do we come together and sit and share this water in such a way that Egypt, you still get water, we'll still get water. And if Egypt says, no, once you start building this thing, we don't think we'll get enough to sustain ourselves. Then Egypt, we need to come and say, Egypt, what are the other means that you can get water for yourself, for your country, besides just the Nile as well? Let's look at other scenarios. Let's say there's drought in Africa for 7 years. How can you survive if there was a drought in all this country? We look at different scenarios besides just saying you've built a dam, you're gonna stop the water from flowing into our country. We say, okay, let's look at other scenarios that can also come into effect. We are facing what we call global warming, we are facing this and that. Let's look at all scenarios that come into place. Egypt, can you live? If let's say now we just stop the water, we let the water flow, but you are facing a global warming, it's too hot, drought, there's not enough rain sometimes, you know? How will you survive? You need to also look beyond just the Nile. It's time maybe now as Egypt to look at other water sources, because the population is growing. And imagine, even if let's say Ethiopia says they stop, but then now there's a big let's say a population start rising in South Sudan, they also want to build more cities next to the Nile. It's still going to be another issue. You understand? So as they still need to sit, and if possible, if it means not Sudan, Ethiopia and Egypt to sit together, let's call the other guys who are more neutral into the matter, who also share the Nile. You understand? Yeah. So yeah, then they need to sit down and say, we need a resolution on this. How can we all both benefit? How much water do you need as Egypt? And how much do we need as Ethiopia? And how much do we need as South Sudan? You understand? Because imagine this matter, Mika, it's just beyond those three countries. Because if you look at the Nile, it's a controversial place because now there's many countries that want to build more hydropower on the Nile. And now imagine if other countries on the Uganda, Kenya, if they say they also want to build some of the hydropower in those. So it'll be another war. That's what I'm saying. They need everyone who shares the Nile to come and sit together. Yeah, exactly. And say, what's your plan as Uganda? Do you still want to? Are you going to build something on the Nile? Are you planning to build a hydro? Or Kenya, do you also want to build something on the Nile? Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, you want to build something on the Nile? You understand? Because those are the issues that today it might be Ethiopia, but today it might be Ethiopia. Tomorrow it might be another country who's also in the Nile to say, even South Sudan, they can say, we also want to start building. We don't have electricity in South Sudan. Our electricity penetration is very low. We want to build electricity, and the cleanest energy that we can find currently is we need to use the Nile. South Sudan will also argue and say, South Sudan, why you're going to our farmers are going to struggle if you build something like this. So that's what I'm saying. They need to all sit down, all those countries, instead of just these three at the moment that we were seeing the tension among them, you know.
Yeah, that's why Kalem, I hope you understand. That's why unity is very important, because in this issue, the case, it's not just gonna be about like everything that Ezra say. It's like I agree with it 100%, and that's why we keep encouraging one another about unity, because if we do have unity, then I think Egypt or other countries, they're not gonna just mistrust, because what I see, what is going on is mistrust as well. Like Egypt, they don't trust Ethiopia, right? Ethiopia don't trust Egypt. Right, so it's hard to have even a conversation about it or to believe what Ethiopia says. You know, everybody has legitimate concern about this issue, but when we have unity, is what Ezra was saying, that we're gonna sit down and be like, hey, this is true. It's an Ethiopian project. Ethiopian people have paid and contributed money to build this dam. But it's not just the plan is not just for Ethiopia, because Ethiopia we're gonna have like excessive amount of electricity if this project is done, but also it's gonna support and help other African countries. Like we can help Sudan, where Egypt, if you have areas that also you need electricity, it can be helpful as well, and so many other parts of the Africa, because we are one Africa. Like all these conflicts, it will be very simple if we have unity, because we are not going to complain that, oh, you guys, you know what, you are closing this water, what are we going to do? But all these things will be happening under conversation. Like people will be sitting down and talking about it, that, okay, we are building this and we need this to save our people, from darkness and everything. We need this so much. And I think it will be, the conversation will be very easy. But because we are not united, they start thinking about war, that potentially war could happen. Like you have, leaders who's speaking about that you know what, no matter what, we're going to build this and you're not going to stop us. And this person say, you know what, no matter what, we're going to stop you. And so we're going to the US to find, sanction on you. All these issues is because we don't have unity. Having unity is going to solve a lot of crises that we're having in Africa, because our goal is not just develop one country in Africa, but as a whole, to develop the whole continent. And that will be so much easier to do. Of course, we'll still have some, going back and forth, but at least we'll have that trust, because we know that, oh, we're speaking the same language. Like we have the same goal. And that goal is to take Africa out of the darkness, right? If I have, electricity here, and my neighbor there don't have electricity, I should not just be happy that I'm having comfortable life and electricity, but I should want and desire for my neighbor to have it too. And how can I do it? And that's what is happening, in this project. So when you see the project in Ethiopia, it's really big project, is really amazing. When you see the concerns of Egyptian people, it's also legitimate. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things, you cannot disregard them or ignore them. We need to get them done, but unity, it can save us so much trouble that we are going through. I believe Kelem really, God, with everything that we say. Yeah, unity is very necessary for Africa, to regain the peace that we are talking about, to see ourselves in a different position, from where we are right now, and so many other stuff. Ezra.
Mika.
God bless you, man. God bless you. Today we are having an amazing conversation. Guys, let me just say this. I haven't talked this to Ezra or anything, but I'm not God, so I'm not gonna be here, all the time. But we have an amazing people who can actually come here and continue the conversation whenever they are available. So, yeah, brother. If you see Brother Ezra here, SA. If you see anyone, you just need to know that we all have the same heart, and our heart is to see united Africa. Face might look different, but we are all one. You know what I'm saying? We're Africa, so, and we want the same thing. So, yeah, I just had to put that out there so that because Ezra, I don't really want people to to get used to me, that if I'm not there, then One Africa Forum is not happening. I want this to continue even when I'm not here anymore, or I don't do this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not my thing. It's One Africa. It's Africa thing. One Africa. So
One Africa.
We're gonna give. And it's strange that you understand that we never had a conversation outside of this.
Yes.
Yeah. I never, like, every time we have Kuru, we have another Ezra. I never had a conversation with another person outside of One Africa we're doing. So like I don't know, like I don't know Ezra, I don't know like how old is he, I don't know what he's doing, I don't know where he lives. I don't know. I really don't know. The only conversation we had is here on One Africa. So I think I'm gonna try to have another conversation with you. Yeah. This is beautiful.
Yeah, man.
Ezra, do you think we should wrap here?
Yeah, we can wrap up. I think we've gone over 1 hour, 80 minutes already.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap up for tonight. I think we've said so much. And as for the guys, feel free, guys, to come and join the live. We need more people to also join the live. Exactly. Comment, like, subscribe, and let's speak, let's talk Africa, let's learn from each other, let's reach out to each other. And this is a platform where so many things this is a platform where it's an open platform. People feel free, you don't have to be camera shy or whatever. Let's feel free to speak and learn from each other. And like right now, if we're seeing more people educating us, when we see more, let's say somebody said we're seeing a lot of Ethiopians, they are teaching us something. Let's learn from them. Right now, they're teaching us, these are the issues, this is what's happening, it's water, it's this, it's that. We are learning as well as Africans, that to know that what's happening there, what are they doing it, how are they trying to resolve this matter, and all those things, you know. And in closing, I that's my prayer, that Africans can have platforms, and Africans can have conversations, speak without any fear or favor, and to come up with solutions that are going to help them, instead of us outsourcing our problems to other people to solve our issues. No one is going to save us. Not the Chinese, not the Americans are going to save us. Not the Europeans. No one is going to save us. We need to look at after our own interest as Africans, and we need to come up with ways that are going to work for us in Africa, for Africans. I think Professor Ezra says it well. I can't really quote him there, but he says African. Mika, what does Professor Ezra say about Africa for what? Africans? By
He
Africans?
said, let me see. I wrote it here. He said, Professor Ezra, he said, where is it? I wrote so many stuff here. It's actually on Swahili Nation, about the is it? Agenda by Africans, about Africans for the Africans.
Yes, you know, agenda for Africans, you know, by Africans for Africans. So this is our platform, guys. Mika has opened this channel for us. We need to come up. I mean, anything from your nations. If you want us to speak about, hit Mika up, and let's talk. Let's learn what's happening in your country, things that we need to learn. And I think Professor Ezra will be coming with in the coming days. There's something along business in Africa where we can share from each other's countries,
Yes.
business opportunities, what you guys are doing in your countries. Feel free. You've got a business, online business, hit Mika up, and then let's see how we can learn from your business, market it, you know, everything, anything, guys. Feel free to join the Swahili Nation and the One Africa Forum, and share your ideas, what you want us to discuss. If you've got solution, you've got a seminar, you've got a research that you're busy with, come, please. We want that information. We want to learn. This is also a learning platform. We are not here to vent. We're just here to learn from each other. So feel free to join, guys. There's 1 point something billion Africans out there. Come on, let's do this. And that's me in closing for tonight, Honorable Your Excellency Mika.
Ezra, I really appreciate, man, for taking the right day and helping out the sheep. Let's have that moment of prayer, guys. We're gonna pray because we always do that. We started 2 days ago to pray for Africa and to pray for our countries. It doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter who you worship, but of course it matters. You have to be worshiping God. We're gonna just pray together right now, and you guys can pray in your own languages. You can pray to in your own way, and us here as well. We'll pray on our own way, to pray for one Africa and things that we talk about. We're talking about everlasting peace. We're talking about moving from where we are to another place where our people will live peacefully. We're not gonna shed blood, of our neighbors, of our brothers and innocent, mothers in Africa. So we're just gonna pray for that, and we know that God will make a way. So let's take a moment and do that, Your Excellence. All right.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know, before I let you go, somebody asked, I will answer this and then I'll let you go. He said, I have a question. Why do you often focus on Ethiopia? The answer is very simple. The One Africa movement it started in Ethiopia. That's where everything started. United Africa, the AU, African Union. That's where it started. But it's gonna go everywhere. And as you can see, we have a lot of people from there as well. You know, but it's not just about that. I think maybe you see, because all the questions most of the time we're getting from Ethiopian people, and we need to answer them. Yeah, but our focus is One Africa, and it's Africa. And just to say that, as Ezra right here is from SA, and I'm from TZ. So we don't even have an Ethiopian here right now, but we're talking about that. This is the definition of One Africa, because if I'm thinking about my country, we should be talking about Tanzania or about SA. We have issues going on, and we address them sometimes, but it's about One Africa, and it matters. Your questions and your views, guys, matters. That's why we cannot ignore them. Yeah, Your Excellence, I appreciate.
Your Excellency, can I also answer Jonas? It's Jonas design, right?
Yes.
Jonas, also feel free if there's other matters, if they are happening in your country, Jonas, please raise them, bring them to our attention. We'll talk about them, or you can even join the platform and maybe raise certain things that you want us to talk about. Yeah, and Mika already mentioned most of why it's been like that. It's not that it's our main focus, it's everything. It's all about Africa.
Appreciate
Your
that.
Excellency, thank you very much for this platform, and thank
you
everybody for joining us.
Yes.
From myself, it's shalom for tonight. Till we meet again.
Yeah,
Amen.
man. I'll give you a quick call for the first time, after this. Just a short call.
No stress. I'll take my phone. No stress.
All right, brother. Have a good night, Africa. I love you, and I'll see you guys, next time. All right, bye-bye.